Hey, yo, foreigner, you crazy for this one.
Yeah, that thing I'm jab riding when I'm left hooking. Fiends said they love me cause they know I keep that sack moving. Sad to say, but this the life that I have grew in. I had to hustle, skipping class, man, I was true in. I can flip some packs and teach.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Bucket Discussions podcast, the channel, man, whatever you want to call it. It is your boy Jay Coop back with another discussion video. And hey, man, in this video, man, we have some Game 7s to talk about. So I ain't going to waste any more time, man. Let's get straight to it. So to start things off, man, I think it's pretty obvious that we have to address the elephant in the room and go ahead and talk about the Phoenix Suns side of things. Obviously, this was the team that was pretty much the clear-cut favorite to win the championship for a lot of people all season, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that they were the #1 seed in the Western Conference, they were the best team in the league when it came to the record. They won 60-plus games, everything like that. And the fact that they came out in a Game 7 in the second round and played literally their worst game all season. They literally had 27 points by halftime, while Luka had 27 points by himself at halftime. So that's pretty much all that needs to be said about this, but I kind of want to go in depth on pretty much what went wrong with the Phoenix Suns, you know what I'm saying? Just because, like I said earlier, they were the #1 seed in the Western Conference, you know what I'm saying? And they also won 60-plus games, so the fact that they came out here and lost in the fashion they did it in, and especially the team that they lost to, I'm not saying the Dallas Mavericks are a bad team at all because they made the playoffs. They were #4 seed in the Western Conference, but everyone knows they don't really got a certified second option like that, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, to start things off with Chris Paul, man. Chris Paul, one of my favorite players of all time. I have his shirt right there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, you came out here and you've been honestly very underwhelming all playoffs. I mean, yeah, I'd say all playoffs because even in the Pelican series, he kind of didn't play the way I wanted him to or expected him to, except that I think it was that Game 6 where he shot like 100% in the fourth quarter. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about this Game 7 against the Dallas Mavericks. This man, Chris Paul, came out here and finished with 10 points. He had 4 assists and 1 rebound, man. He only shot 8 times. He did shoot 50% from the field, but like I said, he shot 8 times, so you make 4 out of 8. It's really not that impressive, if we're being honest. You know what I'm saying? But the biggest thing this game for the Phoenix Suns, and the main reason they lost, was because, you know what I'm saying, their premier scorer, Devin Booker, came out here and just honestly stunk it up. He just stunk it up, you know what I'm saying? He didn't even shoot that many times. He only had 14 shot attempts, but when you only make 3 of them, man, and you're shooting 21% from the field, there's really not much else we could say about that, you know what I'm saying? Finished with 11 points. He had 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Just a very underwhelming performance by their 2 stars, you know what I'm saying? And it's almost actually sad, if we're being honest, just because, like I said, everything that could have went wrong for the Phoenix Suns actually did go wrong. So the fact that they came out here and their depth didn't step up on top of their 2 stars not stepping up, it's just a mess, you know what I'm saying? Like Mikhail Bridges, players like Mikhail Bridges came out here with 6 points. He shot 27% from the field. That's obviously not ideal for role players like Mikhail Bridges, you know what I'm saying? Jay Crowder, especially, man, 22%. He had 5 points. Cameron Johnson was obviously pretty terrible as well. He finished with 12 points, shot 50%. So it's just kind of, I don't know, man. It's not really what the kind of performance he want from a team like the #1 seed in the Western Conference, the best team in the league, to come out here and just drop 27 points in a half, the first half of a Game 7, dude. It's just kind of crazy to me, if we're being honest. But yeah, man, let's just smoothly transition over to the Dallas Mavericks, man. I want to start things off and just give a big shout out to Spencer Dinwiddie, man. Spencer Dinwiddie came out here and shot 73% from the field. He also shot 71% from the 3-point line and finished the game with 30 points, man. Obviously, like I said last episode, Spencer Dinwiddie isn't going to give you too much when it comes to facilitating the ball. He only finished with 2 assists, had 3 rebounds. But, dude, I'm telling you, this performance by Spencer Dinwiddie was so huge for the Dallas Mavericks. This is exactly what Jason Kidd was talking about at the beginning of the series. We just need someone to come out here and join the party, step up a little bit. And the fact that the player that they traded for at the trade deadline for Kristaps Porzingis, man, they got Spencer Dinwiddie. He came in and did exactly what they needed him to do. So, yeah, man, you can't really ask anything else of a man like Spencer Dinwiddie, man. Shout out to you, my guy. that is a very great performance. I also want to speak on Jalen Brunson just because he was very big for the Dallas Mavericks as well. He came out here and finished the game with 24 points. He had 2 assists, 6 rebounds, and he also shot 57% from the field, which is very impressive, you know what I'm saying? Just because the Phoenix Suns, they got a lot of lankier kind of defenders, you know what I'm saying, and Mikhail Bridges, Cameron Johnson. So the fact that a player like 6 foot on a good day, Jalen Brunson, is dropping 24 points, that's a good day, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, and I want to give a big shout out to Reggie Bullock too, just because he really did the damn thing defensively on Chris Paul this whole series, bro. Let's just keep it real. He really did his thing, especially that game ever since, I want to say it was CP3's birthday, man, where he forced 5 turnovers on CP3. Just a very impressive defensive performance. Reggie Bullock has been doing all playoffs, all series, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, it obviously paid off. They beat the #1 seed in the Western Conference. Now they're going to the Western Conference Finals. But before we move on to this Milwaukee versus Boston Game 7, I just want to say that the fact that Devin Booker didn't even make his first field goal until the third quarter with, like, I want to say 5, 6, 7 minutes left, something like that, is just kind of crazy, man. And like I said, an all-NBA scorer, coming out only shooting 13 times, 14 times, something like that, and only making 3 of those shots, and the first one wasn't even until midway through the third quarter. That's crazy. But boy, was Boston versus Milwaukee hell of a series, man. That's one thing I want to say real quick. Shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks, the former NBA champions, man. Y'all definitely did y'all thing this season. I feel like if Chris Middleton was there, the outcome obviously would have been different, but we can't really sit here and think off what ifs, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we just got to live with the results, you know what I'm saying? But to start things off, the Milwaukee Bucks, man, yeah, Giannis's first quarter went crazy, you know what I'm saying? He damn near had a triple-double in the first quarter. I think he finished the first quarter with like 17 points. He had 7 assists and like 8 or 9 rebounds, something crazy like that. Yeah, it was very impressive. But Giannis, he went ahead and finished the game with 25 points. He had 20 rebounds, you know what I'm saying? 17 of them defensively. So that's very impressive, you know what I'm saying? I will say he could have shot a little bit more efficient. He shot 25% from the 3, and he also shot 38% from just the field in general. And that's obviously, it could have been a little bit better. It was that second half that's kind of what got to him, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Because he came out in that second half, he just looked like he was very frustrated. It looked like he was forcing a lot of shots, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, I think he ended up shooting, I want to say 14 attempts and only made 4 of those attempts in the second half. So that's obviously not an ideal performance from a player like Giannis in a Game 7, especially in the second half. So, yeah. But as for the rest of the team, man, you can't really ask much more of Jrue Holiday. I feel like he could have had a little bit better shot selection. But other than that, man, he came out here and finished the game with 21 points. He had 8 assists, 5 rebounds, and he shot 42% from the field. So I feel like he's really not to blame for this loss. I feel like no one's to really blame for this loss. You guys were missing your guys' second option, your guys' go-to player down the stretch versus a great defensive team in the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, excuse me, the Boston Celtics. So, and the Milwaukee Bucks as well. But yeah, man, the Boston Celtics defense, it just kind of wasn't really any match for anyone else on the Milwaukee Bucks, you know what I'm saying? Because without Chris Middleton, your guys' a shot taker down the stretch, the guy that makes a lot of big plays for you guys down the stretch in a lot of big moments, especially games like this. It's just really hard to ask players like Pat Connaughton, who I said was one of their biggest X factors in the playoffs, which he was, man. He's been pretty impressive throughout the playoffs, but he's not someone that's going to come out here and consistently give you guys 20, 25, 30 points even, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But I do also want to give a shout out to players like Wesley Matthews, man. He played pretty good defense, I will say, on players like Jason Tatum. Obviously, Jason Tatum's going to get his regardless of who's on him, but considering who Wesley Matthews is and considering who Jason Tatum is, man, I feel like he played pretty all right defense. But also for Brook Lopez, man, he came out here and finished with 15 points, shot 50% from the field, so you can't really ask much more of him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he had an all right performance, but it was just a lot of the other players on the team, like players like Bobby Portis, he finished with 10 points, 44%. That's really not, that's below his average, you know what I'm saying? So he probably could have chipped in a little bit more, but I feel like it was just a lot of the rotations. That's kind of the reason they lost the series to me, is just because Coach Bud just kind of really is not the answer for this team, I feel like. Just because I feel like he resorts to the same thing every year where he's just going to kind of like pack the paint and have the shooters shoot, you know what I'm saying? And on the defensive side of the court, he's just going to try to let players like Grant Williams shoot the ball, you know what I'm saying, for the Boston Celtics, which that's really not what you want because Grant Williams is like a 40% three-point shooter. So, yeah, that's really not the player that you want to leave open, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, let's go ahead and move over to the Boston Celtics side of things because the Boston Celtics, yeah, they balled the hell out, you know what I'm saying? Jason Tatum, he obviously came out here and was doing this thing. He had 23 points. He finished the game with 8 assists, 6 rebounds. But he was also shooting 50% from the field and 55% from the three, which is what I also want to bring up. The shot selection that Jason Tatum was taking was ridiculous, bro. He was getting off. He was shooting in people's faces, Giannis's face. He was shooting in Brook Lopez's face. Anyone that was just coming his way, he was just throwing that thing up, and it was going in, man. Obviously, shooting 55% from the three-point line means that half of his shots, more than half of his shots, were going in. So, yeah, man, big shout-out to Jason Tatum, but I feel like their MVP, the Boston Celtics MVP for this Game 7 right here was Grant Williams, man. That man, Grant Williams, was doing his thing. He finished the game with 27 points right here, but other than that, man, I feel like just where he was on the court, his placement on the court the whole game, I feel like that's kind of what led the Boston Celtics to their victory because when Jason Tatum or Jalen Brown were getting, double teamed in the paint or whenever they were driving in, you had Grant Williams out there at the three-point line just wide open, ready to shoot that thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I was saying earlier about the Milwaukee's defense, man. You really don't want to leave players like him open. Out of all players, I feel like players like Derek White would have been more of an option that you would have wanted left open like that. You know what I'm saying? Or even players like Al Horford too. You know what I'm saying? He's an all right three-point shooter, but Grant Williams, like I said, is a 40% three-point shooter throughout the regular season all year. So, yeah, that's one guy you don't want to leave open, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man, that pretty much wraps up both of these Game 7s. We're going to see what both of these teams can do in the next round. And me and my guys will probably speak about both of those series before they take place, you know what I'm saying? So make sure to stay tuned to the Bucket Discussions podcast, the channel. We really do appreciate you guys. You know what I'm saying? Especially after reaching 100 subscribers, we really are trying to, you know what I'm saying, go as hard as we can with this. So we appreciate you guys' continuous support, you know what I'm saying? Make sure to keep telling a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Just keep, helping us get the word out there, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said last video, man, we're just kind of, trying to make our own little basketball community. And you know what I'm saying? Just build off that, you know what I'm saying? But until next time, y'all, make sure to enjoy basketball and stay safe, man. Peace.
In the jungle like I'm Conan, count up with both hands. Switch the flow like it was broken. I'm on the road, man. Making plays just like DeRozan. I shoot my shot, and that shit wetter than the ocean. I brag a lot, but with the wind and come the boasting. I made a lot from them apartments that I sold in. He didn't make it up to college, so them streets where he enrolled in. I know I'm a scholar from the moments that I was exposed in.